Hey, what's up guys? Today we'll be going through some of these videos. I'm going to show you based on my experience what I think happened and hopefully help some of you new riders out not get the same crash, because honestly when you watch these videos over and over again you realize that it's literally just the same shit happening. It's sort of the same mistakes over and over again. So we're going to start off with this one. Looks like our man's on an AVB. Looks like the guy in front is going to have a fun time. Let's check it out.
Se cayó Java.
That's interesting. First of
Oh,
all, my God, that is a very pixelated video. That is problem number one. If you're gonna buy a GoPro, buy the proper GoPro, because it sucks. I've had it where I bought the shitty GoPro, used it, recorded, then those recordings are honestly useless. In this case, looks like what happened was this looks like a very tight turn to me. So it looks like it goes kind of like either this or either straight. Regardless, um, whenever you're taking these type of turns, what you need to do is you need to prepare your body to have the most, or prepare your body position so that you are ready for the most sharpest turn. So whenever I like to ride, if I see something like this, I always imagine that it's like a hairpin, so that it comes around like this way. In this case, what I think happened is this guy, none of them are in that position. None of them have their weight to their side. And as soon as they entered the turn, maybe the turn steepened, and then our homeboy here decided to grab him some nice and delicious front brake, and his teeth plowed into the ground. In this case, you this is like all of this stuff you gotta practice, right? You gotta go to a parking lot, try grabbing just a tiny little bit of uh, front brakes, and just see how that reacts. Because you can trail brake where you kind of use your front brake to steepen the turn, but in this case, it looks like this guy just he's like, hey, okay, interesting. Yeah, so let's watch that carefully. So, oh, I didn't realize this was from this guy's view. Oh, this is what have you done here, sir? So he's going. I'm gonna try to watch this hand very carefully. I'm not seeing anything slippery on the road. So let's just, yeah, there it is. So you can kind of see his hand starting to clench this. I think he realized that he's going a bit too fast for his trajectory. And I think he wanted to correct, but he he instead of applying tiny little bit of rear, um, and starting to move his weight off the bike, he instead goes for his front, which is not a good idea. I mean, honestly, you guys, your bikes, depending on what you have, most likely they could handle this turn at the speed he was going. Even in this circumstance, where his trajectory would have probably led him to this, or even like worst case scenario, if he kept on riding it, perhaps into this. I think what he should have done was get his ass right off the seat, put his weight on his right peg, um, and then continue on with the turn. I think in this case, he didn't set him up too like he didn't set him up self too nicely. So there's not too much you can do. But if you are ever in this situation where you're like, oh God, I cannot make this turn, apply a little bit of rear, just a tiny little bit of rear. Put your weight on on the peg inside of the turn, and start turning the bike and look through the turn. I think maybe there was a little bit of I'm not going to say target fixation, but the fact that he might have been just looking directly straight at this, and he realized how fast that was coming towards him instead of looking over here. I think that might have screwed him over too. It's interesting. Uh, it's okay, buddy. Happens. Overall, not a bad crash though. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it could have been much worse. Um,
ok,
there are
¿salió?
times when you have
Sí.
when you have to decide where, like, okay, is it worth me trying to just low side the bike right now, um, or is it a better idea for me to run the double yellow and risk on the other side and me getting hit by a car? Something you guys have to think about. Something you have to kind of imagine and practice. What do we have here? A very grainy video. That's an accident on its own. Okay, okay. Yeah, so again, it comes down to body positioning, right? Like, if this guy wanted to take this turn at 35, I think it would have been fine. But the fact that he hit, I think his rear, so he, I mean, he's like this is a pretty this is kind of leaned over for the street. Um, his positioning's okay, but the fact that he's gonna end up running over this double yellow, and double yellows are like painted lines in the road are slippery, guys. If it's raining, they're even more slipperier, right? Y'all, you should try to avoid um, crossing over this, especially in turns. You will like if you ever take a turn, you will feel the difference. Like you will be like, okay, my rear end just kind of did something. So in this case, if you are gonna, I mean, if you are gonna try to, if you do see that you are gonna end up crossing a double yellow, um, again, same thing, put your weight on the left peg and lean up the bike a little bit. Because I think what happened is this guy he was so leaned over, um, he was so leaned over that he was pretty close to the end of his traction. And in this case, as soon as he hit the patch over here, maybe there might have been some oil if you look at it. Yeah, like as soon as he hit this guy, his rear end slipping. So that kind of sucks. Maybe it might have even been the front in this case that caught it. No, it was the rear. Live and learn, guys. It's okay. Stuff happens. Kind of sucks though.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. I think I got it. Thanks.
Good guy. Always maintain good composure after an accident. Kind of sucks. I want to kick your bike around, but live and learn. Shit happens all the time. Continue on. Yeah, his bike didn't do too good. He's got his left handle coming off here, but looks like he had fairings or the called frame sliders, so he fared well.